everyone. Marisa Stone here with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you today to the 2018 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the systems that our speakers are using to get things done. And I am super stoked this year to have Hira Ali here to talk to us about 5 challenges that actually hold women back. Now, before you take off and say, oh, I don't have any challenges holding me back, I really want you to grab your favorite cup of joe and sit down and listen to this conversation, because so many of us face things that we don't realize are challenges, and we can't quite figure out how to flip that switch and turn them into an opportunity. So Hira is going to help us with that today. But let me tell you a little bit about her before we get started. Hira is a leadership trainer, motivational speaker, writer, accredited professional coach, and licensed NLP practitioner. Over the past decade, she's had the privilege of training and coaching hundreds of people from various professions, cadres, ethnicities, and industries. She attributes her success to her intense belief in this infinite human potential, and I love that about her. Hira consistently displays genuine interest in people, complemented by a lightheartedness and candor, which enables her to positively impact those around her, which is a huge thing in our world, right? She is an accredited member of both the International Coaching Federation and the Association for Neurolinguistic Programming. Her leadership articles have been featured in publications by the IFC, the ICF, the Huffington Post, and Elevate. Her podcast interview on women killing it inspired hundreds of listeners worldwide. And today she's going to talk with us about how to remove some of these challenges that are holding women back. Hira, I'm so excited to have you back on the podcast. Welcome back.
Hello, Marisa. Thank you so much. I am super excited to have, to be here at your podcast. I just love the way you do your business summits. They're amazing. I loved the last one. I'm so excited to be back here.
Awesome. Well, we are so honored to have you coming back. So let's just begin at the beginning. For some people who may not know, what are we talking about when we're talking about these 5 challenges that hold women back?
Okay. All right. So a little background here. I'm a leadership trainer, right? So I am writing a book, and I'm writing a book on the top career challenges faced by professional women and business women. And because I have trained and coached in Asia, and I've trained and coached in the Middle East, and now I'm training and coaching in Europe, and because I'm training and coaching online in the US and Australia, so I have access to these large groups of women across the globe.
Yeah.
And that was the advantage which I had when I did a survey, because I wanted to do a survey for my book to substantiate whatever I was writing. Right. So I did a survey, and I asked about almost 300 women across the globe from different regions. Mm-hmm. And these were business women, and these were professional women. And I said, what exactly are the top challenges which hold you back? And the results were so amazing. It was, you would feel that because you surveyed different regions, people would probably have different answers and different challenges. But what was very, very interesting was that the challenges across the globe were universal. And most of the women, the 300 women that I surveyed, had these top 5 challenges, and whether they were professional women or they were career women, they faced these issues, and these issues were holding them back.
Wow.
So this is something which I am sharing, substantiated by a survey. So it's not something, yes, I have years of training and coaching experience, and of course I've trained and coached in different regions. So I do have that experience of knowing what women, what things hold women back. But then I wanted to kind of make sure and be very positive about what I am writing about in the book. So I did the survey. So lo and behold, whatever I'm saying today has been backed by research.
Wow.
And the top 5 challenges which came across, and this was something which, was interesting, because I honestly thought that when the results will come out, every region is going to have a different challenge.
Yeah.
Different challenge, but no, challenges across were the same. So the number 1 challenge which is there is imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes.
And now a lot of people still do not know. And it's really funny. So people in US reported highest, rate of imposter syndrome. And then the second were women in UK. Now, women in Asia did not rate as high, but then the reason why it was is because the term was new. When I explained the term to them and I said, this is what imposter syndrome is, they were like, oh my God, we have it. This is us. We feel that all the time. So I think imposter syndrome is a term which is, or it's a syndrome which is more specific to women than it is to men.
Yeah.
That's very interesting because, I mean, yes, men experience imposter syndrome as well, but I think it's mostly women, and especially business women who are starting out for the first time, who are, launching something new for the first time.
Yeah.
It's all about imposter syndrome. Whether I will be able to do it, am I a fake? Will I be called out? What if I don't succeed? What if people say that, oh my God, she doesn't know anything, and who am I to succeed? So all these kind of thoughts are, these thoughts are what hold women back, and that's all related to imposter syndrome. So that's the number one challenge.
Okay.
Imposter syndrome. The second challenge is fear of missing out.
Oh yes.
And this is the reason why, especially, and I think even business women will relate to that. You would relate to that too. That when you are a businesswoman, when you're trying to launch your business, when you're trying to get there out in the market, and you're a mom, and you're a wife, and you're a sister, and you're a daughter, and you're a friend, and you're a businesswoman, it's exhausting because you have so many different roles, and you really do not know which role am I going to justify, because there's so much happening on the plate. So the second challenge which holds women back is the fear of missing out. And by fear of missing out, I mean two things. So by fear of missing out, I mean, number one, fear of missing out on different roles, like whether I should be a good mom or a good businesswoman.
Right.
And the second fear of missing out is getting too much on your plate when you cannot decide which projects or which business ideas should you launch. So you usually have lots of things on your plate, and you really cannot streamline your thought process because you feel that if I'm going to let go of this one, I'm probably going to miss out. So you have a lot of things on your plate.
Yeah.
And if you are a type A woman like me, so then that means that fear of missing out is really high, because you are juggling with multiple projects at the same time. And it sometimes becomes very difficult and very critical that you streamline and you choose which projects are going to contribute to your brand, and which projects are going to contribute to your business. You really cannot do everything, right? Everything has to be in sync.
Right. And the ones you focus on need to be income generating, not just any and all skills.
Exactly. And you see, the thing is with women is that we're good at a number of things.
Yeah.
Right? And because we're good at a number of things, we think, oh, let's do this too, and let's do this too. And we have to understand that in order to focus on the business, you need to pick up just that one or two things which you're really good at.
Yes.
And just focus on that. So number two challenge is fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Third challenge is, okay, and I think this is something which is perfectionism. And I think we all know that too.
You're killing me.
we as women are such perfectionists, and we really, 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 I think, lose a lot, and we delay a lot of projects because we are so particular about doing everything 100% right.
Yep.
So that's the third challenge which holds women back, because when you're launching a business, sometimes you just have to launch ugly. You just have to do it. I mean, I'm not saying like ugly, but sometimes, done is better than perfect, right?
Yes.
So
Published is better than perfect.
And you could actually evolve as the business goes, and you could improve, you could, make changes, but it's important to, get it out there, just launch it, because the more time you're going to take in perfecting that idea, somebody else's chances or somebody else is going to, snatch that idea and launch it before you. Yes. So perfection is the third challenge, which holds women back.
Totally agree with that.
Exactly. And then a lot of things which you need to do is, while I'm talking about this, and I'm going to talk about this later on in the session, how to kind of, make sure that you are not really giving into a lot of perfectionism, and how to make sure that you are not doing lots of different things at the same time. That's about building a leadership brand, and I'm going to talk about it a little later on.
Yeah.
So these are the top three challenges. The fourth challenge is organizing your time. planning and organizing, because as women we have multiple responsibilities, and it's not just multi responsibilities. At a given point in time we are running a multi-track mind.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm right now, I'm here, I'm talking to you, and in the next half an hour maybe I'll be sitting down doing homework with my son, and then I'll be in the kitchen cooking, and I'll be going out. So you're doing lots of different responsibilities. You're taking care of lots of different things which men ordinarily don't, right? Because it's up to the women to manage and take care of everything. So managing that time efficiently is something which is, of course, again, a problem, a challenge for most women, because women do not get time. They do not get time to revitalize, to kind of take a break, to put everything on hold, just relax and de-stress. They basically don't get time for themselves.
Right.
It's sad, because when you're running a business, it's really important that you do take these breaks where you re-energize and recuperate, because otherwise you will just burn out.
Yep.
Right. So the fourth challenge is managing your time efficiently. There are lots of different things in your plate, and you're trying to manage 100 things all together. So that's the number 4 challenge. And then, of course, another sub challenge, because there were lots of things which came up, but I'm just discussing the top 5 challenges. Another thing which came out from managing time was, because I think it's interlinked, was the inability to delegate. Because we are perfectionists.
Right. That's
what we are multitasking. We say, oh no, you know what? I'm going to do this myself. Who's going to take out the time to explain?
Nobody can do it as well as I can.
Exactly. And nobody can do it as well as I could do it, right? So I'm going to do this myself. And because of that, we as women put so much pressure on on ourselves that it is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Because frankly, you can't really do anything. You need to be ready to delegate. So that was something which was linked to managing time. And the 5th challenge is women. As women, we find it very difficult to praise ourselves, or to put ourselves forward, or to flaunt about ourselves, or to kind of, if we are running a business, if we are launching it. I am in so many business groups, and women are like, you know what, I'm not comfortable. Do you think I'm showing off? Do you think it will sound as if, I'm saying too much? Or people say, oh, you know what, she's always talking about her achievements and her successes and blah, 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 blah. So women really hold back when it comes to sharing their achievements, their successes, about their business, about their projects, because they feel, because we are, we're sensitive by nature, we think a lot. So we're like, oh my God, what's going to be the impact of this? What if people say that, she's showing off, or she's just boasting too much. So we hold back, and we're not able to highlight our accomplishments as openly, as confidently as men do.
And let's apply this to entrepreneurship then for a minute. Why are these 5 challenges so impactful to women who are trying to start their businesses or trying to scale up their businesses? Like, some of them you can think this is a no-brainer, but let's go through each one and apply it to entrepreneurship and talk for a minute about why it is so important that we are concerned with these challenges.
Yes, of course. Yes. So the number 1, which is imposter syndrome. And this is something which, I am in a group where there are thousands of business women, and they are always so afraid to go out and launch their business, because they're like, what if nobody likes the product? What if I fail? What if people find out that she doesn't know anything? Who am I to succeed? Will I be successful? And how can I launch the business? I don't even have that expertise, or I don't even have that experience. Women, you know how it is, right? Research says that men are going to do it even when they're 50% sure, but women need to be like at least close to 90% sure before they're going to project themselves forward.
I'm just going to say we need to be 150% sure. Come on, let's call it what it is.
We need to be super sure, right? Because we're so self-conscious. We're like, oh my God, what if people find out that this woman is up to nothing and she doesn't know anything?
Right.
But because we have so many thoughts, and all these feelings are associated with imposter syndrome. And mind you, it's not just business women. You are not alone. Of course, it's more common in business women, but TV celebrities, top women in different fields report imposter syndrome as well. So
Wow.
this is something which is very common. And the reason why it affects business women the most is because obviously in business, you don't know, right? In a job, you're doing something consistently every month and you're getting a consistent paycheck, and life is more or less about consistency. But when you are doing a business is of course doing something, you're venturing out in the open for the first time. You're launching things for the first time. You don't know what the response would be like. So
Right.
there are all these green gremlins creeping in and trying to hold you back. No, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. And that's the reason why lots of women procrastinate.
Yeah.
I launched my business twice, Marisa. I don't know if you know that, because I first moved to Dubai from Pakistan, and then I launched my business from scratch over there. And then after that, sorry, let me close this. And then after that, I went to, in business, my business was doing well. It took me time to kind of launch and get myself out of the market. But after that, I moved again to London. And then I had to relaunch for the second time. Now, if I had these negative thoughts in my mind, then I would never have launched, not even once, not even twice. I'd be like, oh my God, is this a new country, new culture, new region? Why would I launch here? Because it's so intimidating, but I still did it because
And you mentioned something a moment ago where you said you have to be consistent. And if you're not consistently putting yourself out there and launching different aspects of your business, even relaunching the same aspects, people aren't going to know about you. They're not going to work with you, and your business is not going to grow. So it's almost like this double-edged sword of, I'm scared to launch, but I absolutely have to launch or nobody's going to work with me. And so you absolutely have to do this. You've got to step out and you've got to make it.
You have to step out, right? Because, and what I say is, you will never really know until you try.
Right.
So you have to go out, and it doesn't really matter if you fail.
Right.
Yeah? I mean, nobody succeeds. I mean, there are very few people out there in the world who will be hugely successful the first time round. People always fail. People learn from failures.
And here's my motto, right? There's really no such thing as failure. There's simply results. So you look at what you did, you look at what your result was. And if your result wasn't what you wanted it to be, you change something up and you do it again.
Exactly, you change it.
That is the only way to reach success. Oftentimes when you reach success, you're standing on the steps of failure. So this is important that you fail, and you need to fail better, and you need to fail better again, and you need to fail better again. And that way you can figure out what that success looks like for you. So let's talk about FOMO for a minute. Why is FOMO so debilitating to entrepreneurs?
So FOMO is so debilitating because the problem is that we are, as most of the women who are launching, most of them are for, moms. And the reason why people kind of leave a job and start their own business is because they want their flexibility. They want to stay home. They want to work in their own time, of course, and they don't want to work in an environment where they're just stuck in a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
So having your own business has a flexibility. But the problem is that when you are trying to launch, you are also looking after your kids. You are looking at you're managing your home. You are, you're responsible for your entire home yourself, right? I mean, yes, there are some men and women who do it equally, which is fantastic. But most of the time, it usually comes down to the women, because women are the ones who are managing children. They're doing school drop-offs. They're managing food. They're managing every freaking small thing which happens in home. They're managing so many different things. And because of that, they are always, under this constant pressure. They're like, oh my God, so if I am doing my business, then I'm probably not being a good mother.
Yeah.
Or if I'm being a very good mother, then I know women for a fact who are very good mothers and they're not doing anything, but then they are so regretful because they're like, you know what, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any business and I feel really bad about it. And at the same time, there are women who are, who have their, who are running the business, but they are so guilty because they're like, oh, I feel I'm not giving enough time to my children.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It sounds very much like FOMO is highly correlated with the feelings of guilt. If you are working your business, you can't possibly be being a good mom. If you're being a good mom, you can't possibly be putting the time and effort and energy into your business. So yes, that totally makes sense. So let's talk about perfectionism for a minute. how can this be very, debilitating to an entrepreneur?
Well, perfectionism, I would say, is the main reason why most people take ages to launch, because they're just trying to figure out everything, make sure everything is 100% perfect before they go out in the market, and that can be really, really something which holds you back, because money loves speed.
Yes.
You really need to go out and get there. And I'm in this program with lots of different business women, and there's a coach and mentor there, and she keeps on saying, money loves speed, launch ugly. And in the beginning, I would say, what is she talking about? But then I realized she was so right, because it took me like literally months to launch my first product, because I was looking into the nitty gritties.
Yeah.
I could have just launched it as it is. People really don't care how the slides are looking, or the format, or the
they just want the knowledge.
background. They just want to hear information, and that's it. They just want to read stuff.
Yeah.
So perfectionism really, really kind of delays. I think perfectionism, the way it holds you back is that you tend to procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
You try and wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why perfectionism impacts with business women so much.
So let's apply this to time management or delegation, or the inability to delegate. How can that be detrimental to an entrepreneur trying to get her business up and running, or even scale up?
Well, managing time is something which is really, really important, I would say, for everybody, especially for business women, because, like I said, when you are, if you're somebody who is managing home, and you're managing children, and you're managing, a plethora of things, then you really need to make sure that your time is divided in the right way. Because if you're not doing that, if you're spending too much time in the business, or if you're spending too much time on one aspect of your business and you're ignoring the rest, then that's something which is not very good for your business. So you need to be able to divide equal time and give equal attention to all aspects of your business, and of course more so to business areas which need attention. Some people can do some things naturally. For example, for me, I can speak, I can write, but for me, I was not a very a person who was very techno savvy, so it took me ages to figure out stuff.
Yeah.
How to even starting my podcast, or because I wasn't really in the online world. So how exactly do you manage the time? And this is something which I'm going to be discussing again in later on. But managing the time is important, because if you are not organized, then your business is going to be a failure. So you really need to make sure that every aspect of your business is organized.
And I think for those of you out there who really struggle with organization, this is where you would highly consider bringing somebody in to help you. Because one of the things that I ask my clients a lot of times is, what is your hour worth? If you are spending your time and energy, your money-making time and energy, doing tasks and activities that you should be giving somebody or somebody else to deal with, then you're taking time away from the things that you need to be focused on, simply because you want to maintain all the control over this or whatever. And so you have to be real careful by downgrading your pay grade and not making the money that you need to make, simply because you want to hold on so tightly. So learning to delegate, I think, is one of the most difficult things that women go through.
It is. And it's important to know that sometimes I think a lot of, as women, we try and save money, and we say, you know what, I'll do it myself. But honestly, if it's something which is going to solve your problem, and if there are people out there who can really do it for you, then outsource it. You don't have to do everything yourself.
Exactly. Stop costing yourself money. Okay, so let's hit on the last one. I know we're coming to the end of this interview, and I don't want to miss this one. Let's talk about why this inability to praise ourselves and talk about ourselves and level up, why is that so detrimental to entrepreneurs who are trying to get themselves out there or scale up their businesses?
The reason why it's detrimental is very simple, Marissa, because if people don't know what you're doing, then why would they buy from you? They wouldn't even know who you are, right? So you really need to go out and get there and literally shout at the top of your lungs and let everybody know what you're doing. And that's very important. And I have these strategies on how you can actually go about flaunting what you said, because for me, I moved from literally 18 months back. And how did I get my name out there in the market?
Yeah.
That was honestly through self-promotion. Every single achievement that I did, I used to make sure that the whole world knew about it. And when you start promoting it, it has a multiplying effect, because it has a cascading effect, because everybody knows about it, and then somebody else will contact you for something, and then promote that too, and then somebody else. So you have to make sure that you consistently promote yourself, and that's very important, because if you do not do that, if you are like, oh, what if people think that she's being a show off, or what if I sound pushy, or what if I sound salesy? I mean, yes, there are techniques on how you could do without sounding salesy, but you know what? You're in business, woman. You've got to do it.
That's right.
Whether you like it or not, you have to get out, and you have to really, really let the whole world know what you're all about.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Wow. This has been some amazing information. I am blown away by what you found in your survey, and I cannot wait to dive deeper in the next interview about how to really thwart some of these challenges so that they move out of our way so we can accomplish our goals. But before we let you go, how can people reach out to you if they want to pick your brain a little more about this survey, access some of your resources, or perhaps even work with you? How can they reach out to you?
Perfect. So I have a Twitter account at Advancing You. I have an Instagram account at Advancing You. Facebook page called Giving Wings to Your Potential. Then I have two websites, www.advancingyourpotential.com and www.revitalizeandrise.com. And I've recently launched the Career Exceller, which handles all these leadership skills and mindset skills and motivation and trainings and all that, which could be hugely beneficial. The Career Exceller is again under Advancing Your Potential, and also run two podcasts, 8 Minutes of Learning with Hira and R&R Hira. So there are different ways you can reach out to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Guys, definitely click below this video, because all the links that Hira has talked about are below this video right now. And you can click on those and definitely connect with her, learn more about her, and access some of the resources that she's sharing with you today, because it is crucially important that you remove these challenges from your life so that you are able to scale up, stay firmly planted in your zone of genius, and get yourself where you want to be in business. Now, if you're one of those people that's really struggling with some of these, imposter syndrome or perfectionism or not being able to delegate, you're going to want to stick around for Hira's advanced session. There is a button below here that you can click on, and you can access that right now. But in order to do so, you're going to have to upgrade to the All Access Pass. Now, there's another button below this video that'll take you directly to that All Access Pass, and you can snag yours right now. And not only are you going to get all of the live sessions that you're watching right now, but you're going to get every single one of these much deeper dives that I've taken with every single speaker. And I guarantee you are not going to want to miss that one. Hira, thank you so much for being here and sharing all this amazing information. I cannot wait to check out your book when it comes out. I'm so excited about that. And guys,
it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Guys, we will see you inside the All Access Pass. Bye, everyone.